On March 17, 2025, a chilling tragedy unfolded in Syracuse, New York, that would leave a permanent scar on the child welfare system and spark outrage across the nation. 11-year-old Jeremiah Huff and his court-appointed social worker, Jenae Owens, were shot and killed by Jeremiah's father, David Huff, during what was supposed to be a supervised visit designed to protect the child from exactly this kind of harm. Jeremiah had spent months expressing fear of his father, fear his mother, his teachers, and even CPS workers acknowledged in official reports. In his final phone call to his mother just hours before the visit, Jeremiah tearfully pleaded, "Please don't make me go." But court orders left his mother powerless to intervene. David Huff had a well-documented history of emotional and physical abuse, manipulation, and controlling behavior. After a turbulent divorce, he lost custody of his son, with the court granting limited supervised visitation due to safety concerns. Yet somehow, despite repeated warnings and clear risk indicators, David was granted visitation with minimal oversight, accompanied only by a single unarmed social worker, Jenae Owens. That day, at Long Branch Park, David appeared calm and cooperative, convincing Jenae to allow a short walk through a wooded area with Jeremiah. It was there, out of sight, that he pulled out a concealed firearm and executed both his son and Jenae before turning the gun on himself in a calculated murder-suicide. Emergency responders discovered all three bodies hours later. The news sent shockwaves through the community and quickly made national headlines, not just because of the brutality of the crime, but because of the overwhelming number of red flags that had been raised and ignored in the months leading up to it. Internal documents later revealed that Child Protective Services had categorized David as high risk, and multiple professionals had expressed concern that he posed a danger not only to Jeremiah, but also to staff involved in the visitation process. Still, no additional precautions were taken. Jenae Owens, a 28-year-old social worker who had dedicated her life to protecting children, had voiced her discomfort with the assignment just days before, but her concerns were reportedly dismissed. In the aftermath, a public outcry erupted over the systemic failures that allowed this to happen. Advocates demanded changes to custody and visitation protocols, including mandatory risk reassessments, armed escorts for high-risk visits, and better mental health screenings for non-custodial parents with violent histories. Jeremiah's school held a candlelight vigil, and thousands attended Jenae's memorial, honoring her as a hero who died trying to do what the system failed to: keep a child safe. This wasn't just a case of domestic violence or mental illness. It was a case of institutional negligence that allowed a violent, unstable man access to his terrified son. In the weeks that followed, several CPS workers resigned, and the state announced a formal investigation into the case. For Jeremiah's mother, the grief was unbearable. Her worst fears had come true in the most devastating way imaginable. She later said, "I did everything I could to protect him. I begged them to listen, and they didn't." This case became a painful reminder that when warning signs are ignored and bureaucratic procedures outweigh human judgment, the consequences can be irreversible. The murders of Jeremiah and Jenae weren't just senseless, they were preventable. And as the nation mourned, one question echoed louder than all the others: how many more children have to die before the system finally listens?